Hi everyone, welcome back to another live stream, live pop-up with Chris Sandeman, your host today in Charleston, South Carolina. I am going to give you guys a bit of a walk, a little bit of an impromptu, hence the pop-up. Pop-ups are always kind of like, you know, we're trying something new. And I had an idea today and I was inspired to walk along a street and talk about the homes on the street, but not just their history, but also their value, their cost. Hi, Diana. Welcome to Charleston. Welcome back to Charleston. Here we are. Thanks for letting me know that we're live on YouTube. It's good to know. Appreciate it. Gosh, it's been a lovely day here today. Jim, you like it? You like it, yeah? It's the home team. Jim was actually with me when I got this hat yesterday. So thank you, Jim. It was amazing. Hashtag Captain Jim, hashtag all hail hail. So it was a wonderful, wonderful get together. And oh, speaking of hail, hey, all hail hail, hashtag. Howdy. So my plan today is for us to walk along from where Trad Street starts, along the kind of the facing out towards the Ashley River, and then for us to walk all the way down to White Point Garden and talk about the buildings that we see as we go, as well as take a little look at the river. Hey Michaela, hey du, das ist super, super spät für dich. And Julia also, good night from Spain. Buenas noches. Sorry that I'm so late in this. It took me a little bit longer to put together the tour than I thought it was going to, and hence why we're a little bit late. Sorry about that, and I appreciate you guys still being up and saying hi. Just take a quick moment right now. You might as well just give this video a thumbs up, whether you're watching live or you are watching as a video on demand, recording later on. You know you're gonna anyway by the end of the video, so you might as well just hit that thumbs up button if you're over on YouTube, or give it a heart, give it a like, give it a share if you're over on Facebook, and keep the comments coming as we go through. So my plan is to talk about each building as we walk by it that has a bit of history, and thank you Charleston Historical Society for providing the information. It's a lot of water sound in the background. I'll show you guys where we are. I also want to thank Zillow for telling me what they would estimate the house to be worth. So for all of you guys who are looking for a new home and have a spare $3 to $5 million sitting around, guess what? You're coming on the right live stream right now. So great chance to see what's going on. Let me show you what we're looking at. Hey Shannon, good to see you. Almost Canada Day. All right. So that's that water there making that noise. So we take a quick peekaboo and look out towards the Ashley River. Now I've shown you the Cooper River before, because we went over that Ravenel Bridge. Hi Rebecca, welcome. We went over the Ravenel Bridge before and we saw the Cooper River, and now we are on the other side of the peninsula looking at and out towards where the Ashley River is. Both rivers named after, of course, our good old buddy Anthony Ashley Cooper, the first Earl of Shaftesbury. We like to call him Lord Ashley, but he goes by a lot of names because he did a lot of things. And he was instrumental to supporting King Charles II. And guess who they named Charlestown after? Well, King Charles II. So wasn't much of a guess. What I'm showing you right now over here is actually the Coast Guard station. And there's double reason why I wanted to show you guys this. Because first of all, well, it's this end of Murray Boulevard. And also because my brother was in the Coast Guard. And this video, guys, is dedicated to my brother, Matthias. May you be healthy and happy as we approach your birthday. Here's a picture of me and the Broman here as we were coming back from Fort Sumter yesterday. So there you go. Thank you, Matthias, for being my brother all these years. And I also want to dedicate this live stream to lazy cats. Lazy cats everywhere. If you're a lazy cat, this video is also dedicated to you. So congratulations, lazy cats and my brother. But that's not the only thing I want to show you. I want to show you a picture of what kind of like used to be here. Well, this is not the best picture. Let's make it a little smaller. Well, you can see that there was something here back in the day. It's not, Shannon, thanks for that, by the way. It's almost his birthday, but we're not quite there yet. I'm a little bit presumptuous and early. But the picture that I've just inserted here gives you a picture of the old Chisholm rice mill, which was built around 1830 after a fire in 1826 destroyed a sawmill on this same site. The Chisholm family then completed a large masonry rice and lumber mill complex. Also, let me just give a quick shout out to Wikipedia. Thank you as well, Wikipedia, for your help and support in doing live streams. Very, very useful. So the old Chisholm rice mill would have looked out over the Ashley River and the marshes along here. And although damaged in a fire in 1859, the mill was subsequently rebuilt and continued to operate until it was virtually destroyed in a hurricane of 1911, an event which also dealt a final blow to the rice industry in the Low Country, unfortunately, because rice, indigo, you know, that Carolina long grain, Carolina gold, unfortunately hurricanes, not very helpful for that. Jenny Jean, thanks to Purple Heart, always nice to see it. Well, anyway, as we were saying, first acquired by the U.S. Lighthouse Department for its headquarters and later by the U.S. Coast Guard, which is now here, this property continues to serve the Coast Guard. The mill's main block, a 4-story building with a central pedimented pavilion, arched windows, and decorative quains, surrounded by a cupola, unfortunately no longer survives, but we still have this building that you can see both in my picture as well as here in the video, which is still used, this 3-story brick building. Storage area, machine shops, and a post exchange. So we also have a 2-story building that was constructed around 1915, which serves as the headquarters for the base. You can't see it in the picture, so I'm just going to remove this picture now, but still show you where that extra building was. Yeah, there it is. Captain of the Ports building now. So very cool. Well, thank you, Coast Guard, for being here and saving lives and protecting us against drug importers and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Although, of course, if there wasn't demand, right? Pretty cool. You can see how they've got a green light here on this little lighthouse buoy and then a red light on this one, although not lit up right now, but it does show you that whole port system, right? Red light returning. Hi there, how's it going? A wonderful day. Yeah, really good, thank you. Okay. So let's keep walking, and we're going to check out some water. And we're going to start looking at some buildings. We're a couple hours away from sunset right now. It's a bit muggy. Not too bad though, because we do have a nice wind down here. If the wind does start to pick up and get too loud, you guys just let me know and I'll protect the mic, keep it from doing that. So we're looking at 80 degrees Fahrenheit right now, which for our European friends, it's 27 degrees centigrade. So, the sun about 2 hours away from setting. And still pretty high up in the sky. Jenny, thanks to Purple Heart over on YouTube. Much appreciated. See some boating going by here, some power boating, as well as there's some sailboats coming by, which we'll see again in the near future, I'm sure. Looks like a decent boat. The Manta. People having a nice time, enjoying themselves out there. And give us a little bit of the spin. We've got from folks over here doing some fishing and some chatting. Hi, everybody. And then we've got a building. Okay, so let me refer. All right. This here is 108 Murray Boulevard. And if I don't have historical background knowledge about a building, and I'll always trust Jim to shout out if he's up for it and he's feeling it. Otherwise, I'm just going to talk about the value of the building so we can start setting our expectations. Now, this building here, this property at 108, is not on the market currently, says our friends over at Zillow, but is estimated to be worth $4.2 million. That's right, $4,231,000. So, beautiful little home, just a little skate pad. And next to it, we've got 106 Murray Boulevard, this green building. Let me get a little bit closer, take a look at the paint blue underneath the piazzas, or above the piazzas, if you will. Which is in there as well. And this building is estimated to be worth $5.75 million. And good news, guys. You're going to be very happy to see this. It's on the market right now. So if you feel like you want to wake up and walk out onto your piazza and just look out towards the ocean and see, well, it's not really open. Then for the mere bargain price of $5.75 million, it could be yours. All right, moving along, we've got 104 Murray Boulevard. This building does have a little history, and you're going to see that there's a bunch of brick buildings that we're going to be starting to pass by, but this building is very much made out of wood because this was built by Louis Fisher. And although I feel like maybe that's one of the names, people keep correcting me that I pronounce things not exactly in the Charleston way, and I wonder if good old Fisher was one of those names. Nope, it's not one of those weird names. It is actually Fisher. And he was on the big screen, the big TV. Yeah, we've got the camera's a good one, and I think I'm broadcasting, I think I'm only at 720, not at 1080, but it still should come through pretty clean. So anyway, this building, constructed in 1930, it stands apart from many of the brick buildings we're going to see along Murray Boulevard because Louis Fisher was president of his family's lumber company. And that's why, of course, he built a wood 2.5-story dwelling here in 1930. The architect was clearly versed in federal-style Southern houses, which you can see through the details of the double-tiered pedimented portico with that lunette window up there at the top, kind of like a half moon, if you will. The house, contrasts with these other buildings that we're going to take a look right now at as we keep on walking along, getting some more history. What are we at here next? Brick building, like I was saying. Don't have a price on 102. But 104 just sold, sorry, our building right back here, just sold for $2.75 million. And that was actually in March 5th. This guy just sold. So pretty cool. Jill, great to see you. Fantastic. Jill just made reservations for a trip. Jill, wait, where are you going again? Remind me. Tell me again. I want to know. Here we have a building that is not a new building. Ironically, when I was doing my research and putting in this address, talked about an old Beaux-Arts style house that was built in the 60s. Not here any longer. New building. Hey, how's it going, my friend? Yeah, good, thank you. People are really friendly here. Oh gosh. Oh wow, yeah, that's right, Jill. You're coming to Charleston and Savannah. Fantastic. Well, hopefully some of these videos definitely hop on a tour with Jim when you're in town. Jim, what's the best way for people to figure out your schedule so they can make sure they get on with you? If you're not friends with Jill already, then you guys should be buddies, I think. So. Or I think that'd be sensical. Good move. All right, so here we are, 98 Murray Boulevard. Single family home, built in 1941, has 4 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. Thank you, Zillow. And estimated to be worth $2.6 Well, $2.7 million. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's the thing. If it was a prettier house, Shannon, who says it's an ugly house, laugh out loud, it would be worth at least $3 million. But the beautification issue, right? Here we've got 96 Murray Boulevard. What do you think, Shannon? Is it a prettier one? I like it. These. Am I gonna say these are Corinthian columns? Seems like the columns are a little bit off. They don't quite, not cut quite right. Is it supposed to stick out like that? Seems like an error. And hence why it's probably only worth $2.89 million. So, but very, very different style houses here than of the wood guy just a little while ago. So, moving along. Yeah, what's a half bathroom, Michaela asks. A half bathroom is going to be like a bathroom that has a sink and a toilet without having a shower or a bathtub in it, I think is the way that they look at half baths. Here we are now, like I was saying, at 94 Murray Boulevard. Built in 1957. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Only $1.7 million. So a smaller building, but still going to have the view. Why don't we cross over real quick and take one last look out to the river, the water, because they are redoing this wall here, no doubt for tide and storm surge. As you can see down the street, we've got a fair bit of construction coming up, so we're going to get less water views and more house views as we go. Let's just take this in together for a second. Shannon writes, no, the new one doesn't fit in with the others. That one is nicer. And Jill and Jim are going to connect and hold out. And Jim's holding out for house number 74. I hope that I have some historical information about that one. If not, Jim's going to help me out, I'm sure. Gosh, it's gorgeous still. Beautiful day. A little muggy, like I said, a little bit of humidity out there. But you really can't complain, can you? All right. So, where was I? So 92 is what we're looking at right now. I agree with you, Diana. It is a beautiful view. 92 Murray Boulevard is off market, but built in 1974, has 5 bedrooms and 4.5 bathrooms. It last sold in August of 1980. Today it's estimated to be worth about $2.2 million, but back in 1980 sold for $237,500. So basically in the last 30 years has increased by $2 million. Good for you guys in there. Very happy for you. You did well. You did well. If you bought in the 80s in Charleston, you're not hurting today. You did well for yourself, probably. 90 Murray Boulevard right here. Just sold in April, 1st of April. And this gorgeous building with 4 beds and 5 bathrooms sold for $3.1 million. Got some paint blue up there on the upper piazza. Nice little space, huh? Gorgeous. You know, and it's worth just taking a look really quick for comparison's sake. Actually, this does look like... Jim, would you say that this is, with these kind of finishes in here, this is handmade, right? This is not machine made, machine pressed. I know there's one down the road where it's there's a famous gate. Maybe that is actually 74, but tell me what you think. All right, next up we've got 88 Murray Boulevard, and off market, built in 1940, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, last sold for $1.8 million in August of 2007. What do you guys think it's worth today by the estimate? Give me, what do you think? Do you think it's worth $2.5 million, $3 million, $3.5 million, $4 million or $4.5 million. 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. Built in 1940, right? Single family home. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to know. I really do. I do like this building though. Really nice landscaping outside as well. It's pretty. It's pretty. Diana comes in at $3 million. Any other buyers? Any other buyers? $3 million. Going for $3 million. Uh-oh. Jeanette. Good to see ya. Hashtag Vancouver Vixen. Hashtag we're going to see a building named Wilkinson in a little while. So guess what? Stick around. Jim goes in at $3.5 million. I've got $3.5 million. I've got $3 million from Diana, $3.5 million from Jim. I got $4 million from Michaela. Well, I'm just going to give it to Jim right now. He was closest without going over. His estimate says $3.69 million. Oh, sorry, Jenny, not read you out at $4.5 million. Good guess as well. But that guy back there at 88 Murray, 3.7 million. So, not bad. Not a bad. What do we have here? 86 Murray. 86 Murray Boulevard. It was, what do I know about this building? It's beautifully maintained, historic brick house, that's for sure. And it is going for $3.7 million. It is actually, dun dun dun, good news, for sale. Guys, Jennifer Davis is waiting for your call. Jennifer, I wonder if you're getting 6% or 5% off of that $3.7 million sale. I'm gonna guess it's 6%. Only giving 2% to the buyer's realtor, but good for you. I hope you do very well, Jennifer, on the sale of this 5-bedroom, 5-bathroom house. Paint blue underneath. Always like to see that. Another one of those kind of crescent moon windows up there at the top. Federalist style. All right, moving along. We've got 84 Murray. And so you know why I'm not showing you the water right now. It's because it's a construction site here, but a construction site to protect all these lovely homes from future storms. Beautiful palmettos. Maybe we'll see a flag. Where was I? 84 Murray, yes. 4 beds, 2.5 bathrooms, built in 1964. This lovely property, although not on the market currently, I'm sure you could make an offer for $2.4 million, and Zillow says you'll probably get a sale out of it. Jeanette writes, whoa, building with my name on it? I'm getting on the next plane. Yeah, Wilkinsons are not unknown here. I mean, again, I don't know if they were the Wilkinsons from back home in Mother England or not, but probably related. And Jim can probably help us on that too. Oh, Tage! Tage, my friend, writes from Canada as well. Hi, Chris. Writing from Canada, missed you. Had a lot of things on. Yes, brother. I hear that. Me too, man. It's been busy times, and hence why it's me live streaming this weekend and not a bunch of other folks, but God, we're going to keep you busy. So this house is also on the market. Thank you, Casina Real Estate Group and Stephanie Wilson Hartzog for listing this property at a measly $3.8 million. But guys, good news, there's been a recent price cut of $200,000. So if you're looking for a bargain, looks like these guys are willing to negotiate. Maybe we can get them to paint the ceilings, paint blue. Tage asks, looking so stunning, are you ready to buy? I am ready to buy dinner, maybe, but a house is not in my immediate future, unfortunately. Nope, not gonna happen. Not this year, probably not for a few more years, I have to say. But 78 Murray Boulevard, you know, if it was a house that I was gonna take, maybe it would be this one, because this beautiful 1931 building contains 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms, 5 and 5, and sold for a measly $3.6 million back in May 2017, already probably worth $4.8 million. Only took 4 years, and you've increased by 1.2 million, house. Job well done. Job well done. Good for you. It is really pretty. Diana writes, so pretty. I agree with you. Tage writes, you've traveled far. The road trip continues, eh? Eh? It does. It does. How could it end? Life is a road trip. You know, we're all on the journey. So, gotta love my oaks. Okay. Oh, Jim, were you just saying 74 Murray? I think you were. You were talking about 74 Murray, constructed in 1914 by none other than Albert W. Todd. Albert Todd, a native South Carolinian, moved his architectural practice from Augusta, Georgia, can't blame him, to Charleston in 1899 and designed a number of projects in and around the city, including, here's Jim's connection, including several structures at the Citadel, as well as the main building for the Medical University of South Carolina, and the town hall for Sullivan's Island. Holy cow. Jim, you've got so many touches on this guy. Himself an elected official as a member of the state legislature from 1910 to 1924, our good buddy Albert W. Todd designed this neoclassical revival style residence for Mayor Tristram T. Hyde in 1914. Hyde, initially defeated in his run for mayor in 1911, was elected in 1915 and served 2 four-year terms. Considered a representative of the old aristocracy, Hyde was noted for his ability to lead a Sunday school delegation in a parade while countenancing an alliance with bootleggers. The 2-story iconic column portico fronts a large pressed brick house. That's what we're looking at. God, there's bugs all over me. Get away. Neoclassical door and window trim. It's beautiful, right? And keeping in tradition with good old Charleston traditions, this should be like a side piazza. Yeah, that's it. Down there wrapping around, I guess. Oh yeah, totally. Anyone that can, Jim writes, he's a man of the people, Chris. A man of the people. Of course he is. Anyone who can, you know, countenance with bootleggers while also leading a Sunday school delegation, it's a friend of mine. Jill, I have no idea why you're not a top fan. Keep commenting and liking. You will be again, I'm sure, but I can also, I think, go in and just mess around with our buddies on Facebook and make sure that you are, because you are. You deserve it. Everyone who's watching right now is top fans as far as I'm concerned. You guys are the clan. You guys are the, I was about to say the clan, and that's not what I mean. You are the community. But like, you know, like, oh, what a shame, because I think of like the Sandeman clan as being a positive thing. But when you say clan down here, then you probably are referring to something else. And that's a trick to remember, Chris. Don't say clan. Oh, by the way, our friends over there at 74 Murray, which we were just looking at before, our architect buddy, 4 million. That was that last house. 4 mil over there. Okay, moving along. 72. Are you? No, you're 70. Wait, what am I saying? This is 74 Murray, and it is 4 million. 70. Did I just mess that up? I was talking about the wrong house, wasn't I? Yeah. Ugh. I'm not exactly sure. Jim, did I get the house wrong? Let me just check. This is why you need a Jim on your tour. You know, Jill, that's what you want. You want Jim, man. Yep, that explains it. Totally. I was off a house. Everything that I said about 76, I meant to say about 74. Or? Jenny Edson, hey. Good to see you. Aw, really happy that you're here. Been a long time. Hope you're well. 72 Murray, just recently sold as well, April 6th. This lovely home restored in 2015, and 3.1 million is what it went for. Looks like they have a nice little extension there in the back. But loving the continued brick theme along Murray, which, you know, was reclaimed land, I understand, a lot of it. There's a lot of building that came later on compared to a lot of the other more fancy buildings on the peninsula. All right, so 70 Murray. We're looking at 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms. Off market right now, but this 1910 building, one of the older ones on Murray, was, don't have the last sale date, but it's, oh no, here it is. Yeah, I do. Last sold in August of 1978. So really a long time ago that this one was last sold. And 1978 sold for a measly $171,000. $171,500. And as Jim rightly says, it is the Baker House. Dr. Archibald E. Baker, Sr., who was the founder of the Baker Sanatorium, later the Baker Hospital, and father of the builder of 36 Murray, which we're going to be headed down to, erected another of the early houses on this newly filled Battery. Now Murray Boulevard, but previously Battery Boulevard. Dr. Baker's brick dwelling features, as we can see, a 2-story double-tiered piazza on its front facade. The square columns on the side of the building are actually original, while the fraught Tuscan style columns reflect recent alterations. So the building has a notable interior with mantels and other woodwork reminiscent of the neoclassical style. Phil McCracken asks, hey man, what's that farting sound? I hope it's not me. Maybe it's something at home, close to home. Could have been, maybe it was a boat going by. I bet that's what it was. There was a power boat going by. It was making like a splash, splash, splash noise. Here we are at 68 Murray, 2.1 million. Guess what? Sold in 2015 in March. So again, just 6 years ago for 1.3 million. You guys seeing the quick price increase that Charleston's experiencing? Maybe we're at the top of the bubble. Maybe this is a good investment for you. Maybe you should be thinking about putting your $3.5 to $4 million into a home in Charleston. Within just a couple of years, be worth another $1 million on top. So something to consider. And by the way, Charleston City Council, just consider cutting me in on all future home sales, because like this is clearly helping. Come on, right? 64 Murray. Okay. Oh, hey, Joel. Good to see you, brother. Welcome, Australia. Been a while. Sorry to hear about your guys' recent lockdown. I hope that you're keeping healthy and safe and that you've got your vaccines in. Delta V is no joke. Can't stop looking at that blue. So this house sold in June of 1999 for a measly $400,000. You guys want to guess what it's worth today? 21 or 22 years later? All right. Is it 1.5 million, 2 million, 2.5 million, 3 million, 3.5 million, or 4 million? Place your bets, my friends. Place your bets. 4 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. Originally built in 1921, this gorgeous Charleston single-family home contains 3,380 square feet. But like I said, $400,000 back in 1999. How much is it worth today? You guys let me know as we walk along and head towards 62 Murray. Joel comes in at 5 million. Joel, you're high. I don't mean to give it away. Tage, 4 million. A steal, he says. A great price range. Sorry, you didn't say steal. You said a great price range. Look, you get two You get not one, but two chimneys. And I think there's another two on the other side. Tons of chimney action going on. Hey, what's up, guys? I like these landscapers. 3 million, says Shannon. Michaela, 2,5 million. Diana comes in at 3.5. And the answer is 2.7 million. Michaela, closest without going over. 2.7 million. Oh, Shannon, oh, yeah, 3 million is too high. Sorry, you went over. Did you guys know my buddy Ryan won The Price is Right? The guy that was doing lots of tours recently in New York. Ryan won The Price is Right. He won it. Like, that's incredible. Very proud of that gentleman. All right, well, look, we're at 62 Murray Boulevard right now. This is, prices are going up, folks. Last sold in November of 2013 for $3 million. Today, worth probably 5.5 million. So nice increase. Probably because of the dogs. You're gonna add some dogs outside the front of your house. You're gonna get an extra million per dog. So 3 million up to 5.5, there you go. Phil McCracken says, are you going to mention some history or are you just doing pricing? I am going to mention some history, but I'm not going to go into ghost tours in these spaces because quite honestly, I don't know them. But I am always open to and very excited for the community to help out and add information to the tours as we go. But I'm not a Charleston guide. I'm passing through, so to say. And the information that I have about this particular building is that it's constructed in 1915. Alfred Huger, a Broad Street attorney, constructed this house in the early 20th century. One of the first houses completed along this new boulevard, the Huger House, is constructed in a modified colonial revival style. It's 2.5-story rectangular structure, sheathed in weatherboard siding and seated on a, you can see it down below, a low masonry foundation. The principal south facade is 5 bays wide with a 2-tier piazza extending across the 3 central bays. Of particular note is the front door. Yep, I can see that. Set within an elliptical and arched opening with multi-pane fan light and side lights. Very beautiful. Phil, are you by any chance a ghost tour guide in Charleston? Because if you are, I would love to go on a ghost tour with you and mic you up and hear those stories. Yes, Tage asks, are the arched windows above the door special? Yeah, that's what makes it partially so notable. We don't see a lot of those. We haven't seen anything exactly like that as we go. Goodbye, 62 Murray. And we're heading on to 60 Murray. Last sold November 2006 for a calm 3.8 million. Today, this gorgeous building is worth probably around 4.8 million. So it's done well. Hi, Kristen. Welcome. And gorgeous. Now, as we go, if you guys feel like I am not showing you something that you want to see, don't hesitate to point me in the right direction, because I will be your extension. I will camera wherever you guys want me to go as we make our way around the corner. Get to some of the older buildings. I'm going to have more history to be able to share with you guys as well. 58 Murray here, going for 3.8 million. Feels more modern. Yeah, it's a contemporary brick masterpiece. Hi, Mila. Welcome, Mila Carona. Appreciate you joining. And Tage, yeah, the price increases are crazy. But, I mean, if I had a time machine, I guess I'd have been crazy not to use it to travel back and buy property. Hard to know whether you'd want to buy that property in Charleston, or maybe you'd want to buy it in Brooklyn or Manhattan. Also had massive price increases from the 70s, 80s, right? Yes, Shannon, we're looking at palmetto trees, if I'm not mistaken, and hashtag Jim's Fort Moultrie tour. Worth checking out if you haven't seen it and you're feeling a little Charleston hunger, a little, nostalgia for a past Charleston tour. And it's these palmetto trees and their soft wood, which of course helps good old Moultrie defend Charleston from the 9 British ships of the line, I believe, that had sailed in and were trying to make a mess of it. And their cannonballs just kept hitting this soft wood and the sandbanks, while Moultrie and the Carolina militia really did a number on the Brits, who you would have thought might have just landed some Marines and come around the backside, because it wasn't really, it's a little bit like the wall in Game of Thrones. It was really only protected on one side, effectively. Could have, I think, landed and made a land attack. But anyway, that's what pride will get you. Get your ships blown up. This is a gorgeous building that we're looking at right here, right now. And if I'm not mistaken, I am, looking at number 52. This is the C. Bissell Jenkins house that we're meandering by. Built in 1913, but had a major renovation done in 1992. Walker and Burden were the architects. Now, C. Bissell Jenkins was the originator of the reclamation project that led to the completion of this entire Murray Boulevard. We've got him to thank for it. And that's also why he became the first to build a residence on the new Grand Thoroughfare. I wanted to show everyone that he believed in it. Designed by the architectural firm of Walker and Burden, the house remains the most imposing of the colonial revival style dwellings built on the peninsula in the early 20th century. Let's take another look, huh? Let's get a little bit of distance from it so we can really see it. June 28th is Carolina Day. Well, that's excellent news, because June 28th is also my brother's birthday, which means that his birthday is going to be celebrated on Carolina Day. Jim, what happens on Carolina Day? Is there going to be a party? Is there going to be some fireworks or something? Anything exciting happen? So like we were saying, colonial revival style building. The monumental dwelling is fronted by a giant order Tuscan portico. Yes, it is. It's constructed of Somerville brick and trimmed in limestone. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. The 4 faces of the red-tiled roof terminate in a deck surrounded by a balustrade. Jenkins also developed the first residential and subdivision on James Island, creating Riverland Terrace in 1925. Sold in 1927 to John B. Farrow, president of the Charleston Country Club, the house served as a veritable center for the early 20th century Charleston society. If we could time travel and we wanted to go back to the 1920s, before we had the stock market crash and the Great Depression, I'm sure we'd had lots of people here partying it up and having a great time. And yes, that modern guest house on the right, it is beautiful. I wonder how they got away with building that. Because usually there's a lot of restrictions on what you can and you can't build here in Charleston if it makes eye contact with the street. And you have to make sure that you stay within the building code. Jim says this has a story, and I'm excited to maybe have Jim give us a quick if he feels up to it and wants to share with us. Jim, whatever you write up on Facebook, I am going to share with the crowd. So I'll make sure that everyone hears as well. You guys will also be happy to know and hear, hi there, that this building is worth something. It's got a little bit of money behind it. Why don't we do the guessing game again? Because I think that's worth it. We're just going to do larger numbers this time, though. Let's say, do you think it's worth 7 million, 8 million, 9 million, 10 million, or 11 million. Not bothering with the halves. This is like when you're at an auction and you're going by the big numbers, then you know that it's worth something. So it's a lot of property here. We're looking at a building with 7,665 square feet, 6 beds, 5 baths, making it the largest. And Kristen comes in at 10 million. 10 million. What else we got, guys? Meanwhile, oh, and to fill in, actually, there is a sad story Jim writes to us on Facebook about this property. A prominent attorney had a daughter who made some questionable decisions and went missing. Oh no, ultimately turned up that she died. Jim, did they catch the person? What happened? Or was it self-inflicted, unfortunately? Ugh. Michaela comes in at 9 million, Diana 11 million. Tage says 11 million, Shannon at 9.5. Wow. And Jim writes the modern house was approved because they couldn't stand to live in the main house after the loss of the daughter. Ugh. Well, that definitely pulls at the heartstrings, and it's hard to deny and argue with that. Well, to answer the question, guys, about the value, it is $8.9 million. $8.9 million for this. Tage also writes he just saw a Fort Lauderdale property at $15 million. Gosh, it's hard not to just send condolences and wishes to the families of the people that are missing right now in Surfside, Florida. Terrifying. I actually couldn't sleep thinking about it for a little while last night. What would happen if you woke up to your entire building crumbling around you? It's terrifying. Jim writes, yes, the perpetrators were caught, and it was a sad tale. It is indeed. Ugh, gosh. Here we are at 48 Murray, guys. 3.2 million for this 1930 home, with 5 bedrooms and 4.5 bathrooms that's built here. And it has a story as well because it was constructed in 1929. This large neoclassical revival portico with its attenuated columns fronts a brick house constructed for a leading Charleston cotton exporting family. About 1929, a Georgian revival style door architrave provides entry into this building, reflecting the mix of precedents used in large traditional houses in the early 20th century. Uh-oh, history, 1942, while stationed in Charleston, Lieutenant John F. Kennedy lived in the garage apartment at the rear of the lot. We're going to learn a little bit more about Kennedy in a little while. Not going to cross onto their property, but we can see that rear building back there. I wonder if that was the one Kennedy lived in. Interesting. Tage points out on Facebook about the recent findings in Canada of the Indigenous Peoples School, and a lot of bodies found in the mass grave there. Ooh, well, you know what? Let's turn these frowns upside down, because you know. Let's talk about number 46 here. So this is the Robert Barnwell Rhett House, and it was built between 1926 and 1928. The architects were Simons and Lapham. The newly formed partnership of Albert Simons and Samuel Lapham, I don't know if I'm getting that name right, Lapham, Lapham, but I'm going to say Lapham, utilized their exceptional knowledge of Charleston neoclassical detailing while planning this revival-style dwelling for none other than Dr. and Mrs. Robert Barnwell Rhett. Stands coping with wrought iron fence and gates topped with cast stone. Neoclassical caps and spheres. The building is constructed of hand-molded brick laid in a variant of the Flemish bond pattern. Now, I wonder about this gate, because this definitely is hand cast iron. But look at these neat, like leaf-like kind of forgings here that you have here. That doesn't seem like the easiest work to do, but must have been handmade, I think. Gorgeous. And please close the gate. You see these little buttons down here too. Very pretty. Is it open? Oh, let's close that door again. Tage says the bird on the patio on the porch is creeping me out. As it turns out, it's not a bird, it's a scooter with a helmet. So, But I love how like art, or life kind of tries to take on art form at the same time. Jeanette writes, when you get to the Wilkinson property, you have my permission to enter the property and request the keys. I will. I'll tell them. I'll show them the chat right now on the phone, and they'll understand. It's totally legit, guys. What's the problem? I know the lady. Do you guys not know Jeanette Wilkinson? This is her house. Funny story. A buddy of mine who lived over at 201 Wentworth had a friend that lives in the William Murray house. And one day he woke up to a knock on not woke up, but he was in the kitchen, kind of lounging around. His wife was at the shop and doing the shopping, and he had some chores he had to get done. And he wakes up like I said, but goes to the door because he's hearing a knock. And he opens the door, and it is none other than actor Bill Murray, who is a local Charleston figure and owner of the Charleston River Dogs baseball team, or at least co-owner, part owner. And Bill Murray says, "Excuse me, what are you doing in my house?" And the guy is like, "You're Bill Murray." He's like, "Yeah, I know. I am William Murray. Did you see the sign out front? It's the William Murray house. This is my house." And, that they laughed about it. And they sat out on the porch, started having a couple of beers until the missus came home and was like, "WTF, what are you doing? Why are you not doing the chores? And who's this guy?" And then she realized it was Bill Murray. And then they all had to laugh together. I think they had a beer, as the case may be. So you got to be careful if you live in the Wilkinson house, because Jeanette might show up. Although, you got to bring Bill Murray with you for the whole thing to work, I think. All right, so here we are at 40 Murray Boulevard. Built in 1935, 4 beds, 4.5 baths. Off-market price, $3.3 million. Pretty one, though. Shannon writes, "I tried that in Clan Campbell Castle in Scotland, as I'm a descendant of theirs. Asked if I could get a free ticket. Girl at the door said no." Yeah. That's right. The Campbells have a notorious history in Scotland for I believe the Glencoe massacre, right? Wasn't that you guys? Where does Bill Murray live in Charleston? Jill asks. Hey, help me out. Do you know where Bill Murray happens to live in Charleston, Jim, or any other Bill Murray fans? I mean, maybe we shouldn't put out Bill Murray's address here, but I don't really care. I mean, maybe we do. I think Bill Murray would probably find it pretty funny. People started showing up at his place. 38 Murray Boulevard here. 4 beds, 5 bathrooms, $3.6 million. Built in 1910. And then we've got 36 Murray here. This is the Archibald Baker Jr. house, constructed in 1938, Dr. Archibald Baker Jr., son of the founder of the Baker Memorial Hospital, we talked about him earlier on, the father, and himself a prominent Charleston physician, built this colonial revival house with a neoclassical overtone in 1938. A pedimented portico with Temple of the Winds columns. Is that what those are called? Temple of the Winds columns. And an oval window in the tympanum dominate the 5-bay facade. The doorway is surmounted by another elliptical transom, and that serves as the main entry for this central hall plan dwelling. Beautiful. You're not a pineapple. Are you supposed to be a pineapple? You kind of look like a acorn to me. Typically, you're going to see pineapples gracing a lot of these gates as a symbol of hospitality. But that one looked a little bit funky to me. Did I mention? Worth $5.5 million. Not bad. Sold just 6 years ago for $3.6 million. So good increase. $2 million plus in just 5 years or 6 years. Job well done. Oh, Tesla. Looks like we are arriving at another beautiful home. I'm gonna say this is 32 Murray Boulevard, if I'm not mistaken. Simeon High Jr., attorney at law, and his wife Isabel and their family lived at 47 South Battery before building the house at 32 Murray Boulevard, which they occupied in around 1922 or 1923. Jill writes, Bill Murray came to my house, my hometown in Washington State, and played with a semi-pro baseball team we had. Several locals have some crazy stories from his time here. Funny guy. Yes, most people that live in Charleston have a story or two about Bill Murray. And I've seen him several times myself, but never had the pleasure of actually going up and saying hey to him, because I was a chicken. I was scared to do it, and I thought, well, he doesn't want to hear from me. So, c'est la vie. All right, we're crossing over Linwood Boulevard. More farting noises out on the water because we've got a bunch of jet skiers going by as they tempt the hungry sharks. Guys, you get a better chance of getting hit by a falling airplane part than attacked by a shark in your life. So please don't hate sharks. Sharks are important and part of our ecosystem, so don't mess with the sharks. Where are we here? What? I'm at 28. 28 Murray, 4 beds, 4.5 baths. Woo! Built in 1947. Last sold January of 1997. Last sold January of 1997 for $1.2 million. But you gotta ask the question, how much would it probably sell for today? Do you think it would be for $4 million, $5 million, $6 million, $7 million, or $8 million? 4 to 8 million is the range, but take a look before you guess. You got some beautiful landscaping back here, some gorgeous trees. I'm gonna say that there's a pool back there through that other gate. Hey guys, how's it going? And can't argue with that. Little pool time. Nice, nice, nice. Tage asks, is there a main street or spread out only? There is a main street. It's called King Street. And in fact, folks, my plan is to give you a live stream of King Street tonight. That I'm going to go back out and I'm going to walk up and down King Street this evening and show you how busy it is and how many people are out. Now, South Carolina is not a state that is doing very well with vaccinations. And anyone that interacts with me and is willing to let me live stream them I'm going to go up and ask them a couple of questions. I'm going to ask them if they are vaccinated, and if so, why, and if not, why not, and if they're concerned about the Delta variant. Just, and to show a little bit of the nightlife amongst King Street, which Tage will show you, kind of like the central high street, if you will, the main street, if you prefer. So Shannon asks me, can you zoom in on the tree with the flowers in the yard? Yes, let me do that for you, Shannon, for sure. As I do that, come on, tree. I want you to. There we go. Getting a little closer to it. It's not. I'm getting so much backlighting from the sun. I don't know if you can really see it that well. Now Phil writes, up ahead, if you turn on Lenwood, 3 houses on the left is the famous Clint Torres house, which was a brothel back during the Civil War, said to be haunted. I'm definitely going to go do that. Thank you, Phil. I'll always take recommendations like that. Kristen asks if it's a new hat. You guys, you can always see me when I've got my new hats on. And that's what I'm doing. I'm wearing a new hat. It's true. From Home Team. Jim commented on the beginning that we were grabbing some painkillers and some chicken wings and such, and had to do that. So, yeah, it's a really pretty tree. Oh, that's better now. The lighting is coming through a lot more clearly on that. So, oh yeah, we never talked about the value on the last house. Or on this house, pardon me. Yes, we're looking at 6.2 million. 6.2 million. Uh-oh. Too zoomed in. Okay, better. Jim writes, it looks like a sad crepe myrtle. Is it crepe or crepe? I want to say crepe, like a French food item. As we walk by 24 Murray here, 4.1 million, built 1968, 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. Hey there, how's it going? You're a beautiful puppy. You're a beautiful puppy. Have a nice day, guys. Like the paper. Okay. Thank you, Jim. Crap. Wait, Kristen. Crap. Okay. 22 Murray. 3.18 million. 3 beds, 3 bathrooms. That's pretty good. It's $1 million per bedroom, or $1 million per bedroom bathroom combo. One of the higher prices we've seen. Coming up to the next house at, oh, did I miss the turnoff to, oh crap, Phil. Crap. Did I miss the turnoff onto Linwood? I think I did. I got distracted. I'm sorry, brother. I'm just gonna have to come back and do that one later on. We have to do a proper Haunted Charleston tour. And Phil also pointed out that the jail is, yeah, super haunted. We should go up there and check that out too. I think that's gonna have to happen before I leave Charleston. There's only one company, I think it's Bulldog Tours or something like that. I think they're the only ones that have an exclusive right to be able to go in there. And you know, apparently they donated like $1 million to the preservation of it as well, which then you got to wonder about their ticket prices if they can afford $1 million donation to be able to buy exclusivity to a building. But, you know, what are you gonna do? 5.2 million for this gorgeous kind of violet colored home at 18 Murray. And 16 Murray across the street. 2.8 million for 3 beds, 4 bathrooms, and 2,500 square feet more modern style building. I'm trying to see if there's a date of building here. Yeah, doesn't tell me. But guess what? Good news. Dun dun dun. It's for sale for 2.8 million. Guys, this is one of the cheaper buildings that we've seen. Clearly someone out there who's watching right now has 2.8 million lying around to consider doing something with that. But for now, Jeanette, you've waited in patience, and it's time for you to see one of your buildings right here. In fact, there were two buildings that you would have had back in the day. This one plus the one behind it, which connects onto South Battery. And this one here is 14.5 Murray Boulevard. It's Mrs. Wilkinson's nursery school and kindergarten. Constructed in the 20th century, this property was once part of a large parcel and garden belonging to 51 South Battery, owned by Mr. and Mrs. James Wilkinson. Jeanette, I never knew there was a James. When it was a one-room structure, it was used by Mrs. Wilkinson as a school for young children and a playground. The one-room structure was expanded to 2 rooms, and a kindergarten was added. The house was remodeled and expanded several times over the years. And while not historic per se, it is a part of the history of Charleston and a good example of the creative adaptation common here in this wonderful, wonderful city. So, yeah, right? A little bit more modest in size, writes Jeanette. I don't believe, Jim, I don't believe it's a condo. I think it's a fully owned, single place, although it's a New York license plate out front. Maybe they're Airbnb-ing different rooms in there. It's off market, but Zestimate says that it's probably worth about 1.4 million. Although I don't believe that because it was sold in July of 2016 for 2.5 million. So either someone massively overpaid for this space, or Zestimate, you're just wrong. It's worth more than you think. Maybe someone loved it, and that's what it is. Yes, I agree with you, Jeanette. Nice balcony and top window. You held out, and you got what you needed here. So 12 Murray coming up. There's 14. I actually don't have a price for 14. I didn't Zestimate that one. 12 Murray is going to come in at a cool 4 million. Please. Should I go see if there's a pool back there? I wonder if I can. You know what? If we were in a different state, I would do a little trespassing. But in South Carolina, a lot of people are worried about home invasions, and I don't want to be mistaken as a home invader. It's just not. It's not how I want to go out on a live stream. I wouldn't want you guys to see me go out that way. It'd be a bummer for all of us. So let's not do it. These are two really cool buildings right here, folks. 10 and 12 Murray Street, Murray Boulevard, excuse me. They were both built in 1916. The McCready brothers were the architects. And you'll notice they are matching 2-story curved linear gable-ended houses. And they were built by none other than Henry Sheaves. Saying that right? Sheaves, I'm gonna say Sheaves. And he built them for both his son and his daughter. His son, Henry Sheaves Jr., and his daughter, Charlotte Sheaves, Hardison. On these two, back then, newly reclaimed lots on what was called Battery, now Murray Boulevard, they are stucco on wire frame houses, and they reflect an eclectic late Queen Anne style reminiscent of the 17th century Jacobean architecture. Cool, right? Yes, thank you, Jeanette, for putting the kibosh on the Chris gets shot by a trigger-happy homeowner. It would be a lot of views, but it would be a one-time show, unfortunately. So, how cool are these two buildings, guys? Now, you're going to be interested to know that one of them is worth 4 million, and the other one is worth 2.5 million. So, 4, 2.5. I'm gonna say that probably the son got the more expensive one. Oh yeah, hey guy, he's going into his house. Sorry for live streaming outside your home. That was weird. I was wondering why he was. was wondering why he was looking at me like, dude, what are you doing out here? I was like, I'm just doing some live streaming. He's like, yeah, outside my house, and you're telling people how much I paid for it. Well, all right, I did. It's true. It happened. What's a heartbreaker for me is that I can hear in the background, man of constant sorrow. They're playing that song from the Oh Brother Where Art Thou, you know, the Soggy Bottom Boys big hit that sets the, you know, George Clooney and his boys up, and they're playing that song, but they also are holding on to a dream that is over. So anyway, what are you gonna do? This is Leo's house. Wait, like Leo DiCaprio? No. Number 8? Is it? Huh. Oh. Leo owns Henry's on the market. Well, he's done very well for himself. This is a gorgeous home. And it just breaks my heart to see Trump supporters have good taste in homes, but they do. They do. Gotta give the devil his due. Nice space. Well, guys, we're coming up to the, thank you, Jim. You know what? There are a lot of nice Republicans out there, and a lot of nice Trump supporters, be they Republicans or just, you know, nationalists or populists or whatever they are. But, you know, people get a lot of information from a lot of different places, and once you're getting information from one place, you tend to kind of believe that information. Well, it's worth talking about this building as we come to the end of our tour, even though it's not one of these beautiful homes that we've been looking at. This is the Fort Sumter Hotel, or Fort Sumter House today, because it's actually a condominium building, but it has a neat story behind it as well. Besides being like this original beautiful hotel, which was famous for being a place where people from the north and everywhere else could come down and visit Charleston, it was also touted as being fireproof. That was a big deal, especially in a city with lots of wooden buildings and open porch flames. So not a bad choice. The hotel was the site of a tryst between none other than former President John F. Kennedy and a Danish woman, potentially a spy for the Nazis. In 1942, on February 6th, just after Kennedy had arrived in Charleston for service with naval intelligence, he spent 3 nights at the Fort Sumter Hotel with former Miss Denmark, Inga Arvid. Unbeknownst to Kennedy and Inga, she was being monitored by the FBI. And they passed that information on to good old John F.'s dad, Joseph Kennedy, who then, in an effort to separate his son from the beautiful Arvid, had him reassigned to a PT boat in the Pacific, the now famous PT 109. Kennedy then remarked, "They shipped my ass out of town to break us up." Ain't that true? Ain't that true? In 1942, the hotel was used as the headquarters for the 6th Naval District. They rented it for about $80,000 a year. It was refurbished and reopened as a hotel in 46. In 1947, Tennessee Williams and agent Audrey Wood met here with Irene Selznick to discuss her producing his newest play, which he had originally called The Poker Night, or Poker Night, and had decided instead to rename A Streetcar Named Desire. Thank you, Tennessee Williams, for that contribution. The hotel was sold in '67 for about $435,000 to the Sheraton hotel chain, who spent an extra $500,000 on it after that to renovate it and renamed the property the Sheraton Fort Sumter Hotel. Sheraton then sold it on again in '73, changed hands a couple times, and today it is condos. Zestimate, by the way, for condos in this space, going for about $1 million. Oh, you want to see the pool? Yep, no problem. I can, well, you know what? I'll be honest with you. The pool's not that nice, but I'm gonna still go back and do it because I take requests and I don't want anyone to say that I don't listen to my community when they ask me to do stuff. I already screwed it up by not checking out the ghost brothel. Very spirited ladies. Oh, and here we are. Now I look like a peeper. Thanks, guys. Way to turn me into a perv. Fantastic. Here's the pool. Fantastic. If I get in trouble, I'm just gonna tell the police, Tage made me do it. And they're gonna be like, who? I'll be like, Tage. And they're like, don't you mean Teague? I'll be like, no, his name's Tage already. God, told you once, I told you a million times, it's Tage. Like Page with a T. Anyway. Beautiful, beautiful views here. Absolutely gorgeous. As we look out, looks like, I'm gonna say this is pretty high tide. Feels it. And we got the sun in the distance. Tage says, tell him that Shawn Mendes sent you. Okay, I'll try that. What are we looking at here? Let's see if I can open this thing up and give you a feeling of what this would have looked like back in the 18th century, 1700s. Yep, because here we are, down on the Battery. Let's get that centered again like that. You guys can kind of see as we walk along. Oh, Jeanette, thank you. I appreciate the support. So, hey guys, hi. Right? Tage writes, the water is literally here. Yeah, you know, I've been in Charleston in the past when you had to kayak down the streets because the water would get so high. Now, folks, if you are not recognizing where we are, it's probably because you did not see Jim's excellent tour around Charleston. We've made it over to White Point Garden. Why is this important for us? Well, it's where we're going to end the tour. Jim writes, high tide is at 9:40. They, if I'm not mistaken, used to call it Oyster Point because of oyster shells inside the space. But Jim gave us a bit of a scoop on this place already, so I really recommend you check out Jim's Charleston tour that we live streamed together a few months back when we had the great pleasure of making each other's acquaintance, developing a fast friendship. So really worth revisiting that. But I'm just going to walk you into the middle of it, this beautiful space, just to show you why they would have been called Oyster Point before, because if you look down here at the ground, you can see lots of oyster shells still in the ground. Come on, oyster shells, come out of the ground for me. I just want to show people. Yeah, a little bit of oyster shell. It's also why they called Pearl Street or Perlestraat back in New York City that as well, because of oyster shells all along that street as well. So here we go. Look at that. All on the ground here. Neat. Well, right, there's squirrels around and a suspicious number of Confederate monuments in the space. So tonight we're going to be back again in just a few hours. I'm going to walk up King Street or down King Street to show you guys what it looks like at night here. We'll talk to some locals, hopefully, and keep it not too long because, of course, can't live stream all the time. They tell me that no one wants that. You don't want constant live streaming, right? Oh, wow, right? Jeanette, that sounds really good. Jeanette writes, half expecting that you were going to happen upon a blanket with some chilled beer and oysters waiting for me. I wish that was the case. Unfortunately, I didn't plan it well enough. But what I will do tomorrow, I can see some people over here. Maybe they've got oysters and beers for me. Let's go and say hi. Let's get a little closer and see what happens. Phil adds in, the white condo building you just passed was owned by the Civil War Captain Eric Shin. Like the 1 King Street, like the Fort Sumter Hotel or Fort Sumter House. That one, Phil? That's cool. Or maybe it was a different condo along the street there. Phil, I gotta meet you, man. Are you in Charleston? You know what's up. We'd love to get you out for some storytelling if you feel up for it. So the other thing I can do, I don't know if it's appropriate or not appropriate, but if you guys are up for it, usually on the weekends, there's a bit of a hadoo, like a small hadoo here, where there's like gatherings of people that dress up sometimes in Confederate clothes and open carry rifles, probably close carry other guns, and they do a bit of a loud music kind of circling around of this park. And if you guys are interested in seeing that for non-weird reasons, I'll come back here and show that to you either on Saturday or Sunday, and try to show that as well if that's interesting. Without going into too much detail, this is pretty cool. Oh, it's like a bachelorette thing. Oh wait, do you think I can ask them if I can just do a close-up live stream of it? Let's check it out. And Phil, you are in Charleston. I'm gonna DM you after this and say hi. We can talk more. Hi, you guys. Do you mind if I'm live streaming right now to like my community in Europe and Canada, lots of people that can't travel right now. Do you mind if I just I'm looking, the camera's looking at me right now, not at you guys, so I'm not gonna show you if you don't want to be shown. Would you mind if I just show how beautiful your setup is?
He's getting married.
Congratulations, that's wonderful. I mean, I'd congratulate him as well because he's clearly made a good decision. I don't know if you made the right decision or not, but here it is. Oh, guys, it's a bachelorette gathering, a shindig.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Last
Look how
powwow.
lovely. It's the last powwow. Absolutely great. I love your guys' shirts. Thanks for letting everyone see this. Right, yeah. Have a wonderful weekend, okay? Take care. Bye-bye. All right. Great. Okay, I've been going for an hour and 22 minutes, and we're gonna go again in the near future. So I gotta say goodbye to you guys because I can't keep talking, and then gotta recharge, gotta reboot and come back to you again. So from the center of White Point Garden, from the gazebo here, I just wanna say thank you for keeping me company. Thanks for sharing this. If you haven't already done it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And we'll be back again soon. Maybe Phil's gonna be on the video with me. We'll be talking about ghosts and grabbing a beer over at the old jail, and we'll be back again. Tage writes, such polite Carolinians. That's right. They were very nice people. I don't even know they were Carolinians. They had strong accents, so they might have been from they could have been from Columbia, like upstate, so to say, not in the low country as much. People around Charleston don't have very strong accents, I have to be honest with you. Maybe they're from Georgia, stronger accents there as well. Shannon, you're very welcome. Mwah. Always. Jenny, love the Purple Hearts. Thank you. Really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, guys. And we'll be back later. So whether I see you live later on this evening or at what time, Michaela writes, I think it's going to be, I want to do it after dark. I'm thinking 10 p.m. I'm also an early bird. I tend to work a European schedule, which means that I tend to fall asleep by 10 p.m. most nights, or 8 p.m. even, but I'm not having anything to drink, which is something that makes me fall asleep. And I did have an afternoon coffee, which is a rarity for me, which means I'm quite up. And I plan to have another coffee and no drinks, which means that 10 p.m. of 10 p.m. Eastern time, so 7 p.m. on the West Coast, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 a.m. in the UK, and it's going to be 4 a.m. for you, Michaela. It's quite late, so we'll see what happens. Jim, thanks for the good luck on King Street. Jeanette, mwah, thank you for joining. Jill, thank you as well. Can't wait for you to connect with Jim. He's such a star, and you're going to love his tour when you go on it. Makes lots of people super happy, and couldn't recommend a better guide. Hale, yes, good. You should be snoozing that late. We all should be, quite honest with you. And Phil, I'm going to reach out to you in just a couple minutes and say hi, so we make the connection, complete the circle, okay? All right, with that, I bid you farewell. I bid you adieu, and I will touch back again later on this evening as we talk to some people and try something, with a plan of talking to some people about their experiences, but especially their experiences with the end of the pandemic from that perspective. So goodbye, Michaela. Goodbye, Diana. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate you. Thank you. All right, we talk again soon. Ciao, ciao.